Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Jenya, and in today's video I'd love to show you what happens mostly on a moving day and a couple of days prior to moving. We are, as in a family of 4 and a cat, are moving to our new beautiful house that we just bought, and in this video I will basically include a mixture of packing, moving, cleaning, putting stuff into the truck, and basically just clearing this now old house out of our stuff completely, cleaning it goodbye and leaving it for others to enjoy. This moving process has been nothing but fun and chaos put together for me. I have been packing and putting this house into boxes for a couple of weeks now, and then those boxes were stored mostly in the garage, and then most of them went into the moving pod. And now I'd like to show you what the house is looking like at the moment. This is 2 days prior to our moving day. And that was the day that my husband's parents came from Florida for just 1 day to help us move all the heavy stuff that my husband couldn't possibly move by himself. Other than that, basically we had a moving pod which my husband filled up with all of our stuff and the boxes that I basically packed. Now the moving pod got filled up pretty fast, so the rest of the stuff is going to go into the moving truck, which will show up on the moving day. So now on the moving day, our moving pod is going to be picked up from our parking lot and taken directly to our new house so that we can put our truck there and fill that up. Either way, this is my daughter's bedroom at the moment and my son's bedroom, mostly packed, and of course the garage. I probably shouldn't have, but I left the garage till the last moment. I just couldn't get to it, and it was the most difficult room out of all, but it's going to be just fine. I'm literally going to just throw all the stuff into the boxes because at the moment I'm running out of time. But either way, for those who are new, I am Jenya. I am a Russian wife to an American husband. We are moving to the new house of our dreams that we just bought, and we also have 2 little kids together right there. That's my daughter Anya, she is 3, and my son Maxim, he is 1. On this channel you'll find plenty of cleaning, organizing, and decluttering motivation, and I like doing things on a budget whenever I can. And like I mentioned, we just bought the house of our dreams and can't wait to move there. And I do have a video of us choosing that house and our house hunting process, and I will include that video in the description below. But the main reason for us moving out is because we just grew out of it. As much as we love this townhouse, we need more space, and we have been dreaming of a backyard and just a permanent new place for the next chapter of our lives and for the kids to grow up in, and we kind of wanted that to happen before they started school. But anyway, I wanted to start this video by packing the garage for a couple of minutes, which in fact took me a couple of days by me sparing a couple of hours a day on it. I am just packing my side of the garage with my arts and crafts. My husband already packed his opposite side of this garage with his tools and all of his stuff. I'm sure he left some tools out, whatever we may need for the move, because that is important, but I decided just in case to leave this little black container with whatever stuff I thought we might need, like a couple of Ziploc bags, markers, screwdrivers, some gloves because I know we'll be dealing with trash a lot. I'm also leaving a bunch of trash bags here and in the kitchen, and the rest I'm packing away. And as soon as the garage is done, that takes us to the last day in the house, where I will pack away whatever is left in the laundry room, linen closet, the kitchen, including a little bit of cleaning there as well, because we want to leave the house nice and clean for whoever is to come. So this is the day before the moving day, and I am going to leave the garage like this. I did as much as I could given the time that I had, so we'll still have a lot to do and pack and move into the truck on the moving day, and I'll show you how we're gonna deal with all of that. And I also wanted to mention what my cat did on the moving day, which caused me a lot of stress, but we will get to all of that. Right now I'm just throwing a couple of dryer sheets into this plastic container which has everything that I need to do a couple of loads of laundry and pack the rest heavy stuff away. I figured I would need to do laundry as soon as we get to the new house. One of you had commented that I should have a bag with everything that I would need on the first day in the new house, and I wanted to throw this little container with the laundry load supplies into that bag. But either way, now with my husband's help, we're gonna tackle this linen closet in no time. This linen closet is less than half full now because I have used a lot of stuff in it, like blankets, towels, and rags, to wrap up some fragile items, as well as top up some boxes that were not completely full, to make them nice and tight and also save some space that way instead of packing the linen closet by itself. So I did leave it to the last moment intentionally.
Together, I found it.
Okay, so the closet is now done. We're gonna head down to the kitchen. I'm gonna pack and clean, well, wipe down a couple of things there. Put my house plants into a box and call it packed. So what is gonna happen here is that we will move out of this house and then we'll still own it for a couple more days after we move out. So my husband and I will come back the next day after we move out and clean the house goodbye and then leave for good. And I wanted to show all of that in this video, including some of the footage of the morning in the new house. I also wanted to mention that when you move out of a home, there is this bittersweet feeling that you have, and it's actually a common thing. I did not know that. For example, sometime during packing, I started getting those little sad moments that these are our last days in this house. And since in our situation at least, nothing bad is happening, only the good things, I did not understand where the feeling was coming from, and therefore I just kept brushing it off. I played a couple of moving videos on YouTube for packing motivation, and they both mentioned that bittersweet feeling. And that is how I realized that it's in fact very common. What I also had realized is that once you pack most of your belongings and stuff away, especially in my case, it was our bedroom where we only had a mattress left to sleep on. So once all of your belongings that make the space yours are not there anymore, the house doesn't really feel yours anymore either. At that very moment, to me, it felt just like some house with almost no character that we just had to spend one last night in. And it felt good, but maybe it's just me. Feel free to let me know in the comment section if you have experienced the same, similar, or the opposite feeling when moving, if you wish.
Before, can't take this anymore, 'cause I've been looking for something to change thoughts into motion. Been waiting way too long, yeah, waiting just for somebody to love and to surround me and to handle my emotions. I was out waiting for something.
Like I said, there is still going to be plenty of things to pack tomorrow, but it is what it is. If we're behind, that's okay. I'm still refusing to stress out over it. Plus, technically, we still do own the house for the 2 days after the moving day to pick up whatever is left behind. So to me, it really is not a big deal. It's just that I guess when you move with little kids and animals, you kind of want to be where your stuff is and where those animals and kids are. That's the only thing, really. But we were really trying not to leave anything behind in this house past the moving date, except for, I guess, my backyard container garden, which was our plan for us to come back past the moving date and clean the house up before we pass the keys on to the next owners and pick up my container garden, because we're not gonna end up having enough space in the truck on the moving day. We're now in the bedroom taking off the curtains of the windows so that I don't forget to do it tomorrow, and then I'm going to spend one last night in this house that doesn't look or feel like my house anymore, I guess, without all the mess. I think my cat has less and less understanding of what's going on, but at least she has been back every day on the schedule from her outdoor adventures. It is now the moving day, and although we had a vague plan of what was going to happen, I wasn't expecting it to go as planned, not ever, because it is the moving day. It's going to be chaotic. So I wanted to take you along and just kind of briefly maybe show you what happened on the moving day. Right now, I just need to get everybody ready, and we'll all go to pick up the U-Haul truck, because right now we're waiting for the moving pod to be picked up from our parking lot, and that way when our parking lot is free, we can park the U-Haul truck there and move whatever is left in the house and especially in the garage into that moving truck. And as soon as that's done, we're going to be on the way to the new house.
nothing to hold me back.
So we dropped off the husband at the U-Haul location so that he can pick up the truck, and we went to Starbucks to get some coffee and then headed back to the old house. As we arrived to the house, they were just picking up the moving pod, and the U-Haul truck was waiting for the parking lot to be freed up. I hope that's not confusing. Basically, to move our 3-bedroom house to the new house, we had to order this container, which is the moving pod. They pick it up, they drop it off wherever you want it, and you load it up yourself. So we did that part, and then for the rest of our stuff on the moving day, we rented the U-Haul truck, and that's how we basically did it. In case you're wondering, the moving pod, they do the driving themselves, so it cost us around $800 everything, and the U-Haul truck cost us about $170 something. And why would you do a moving pod? Basically, sometimes you're not sure exactly when your moving date is going to be, and sometimes you're stuck up in the air with all of your stuff when you can't quite move into the new house, but you have to move out of your old one. So they drop off the moving pod, and it can stay there for I think a week or two, and you can slowly put your stuff into the moving pod yourself, and whenever you're ready, you tell them to pick it up, and they can take it to the storage unit and keep it there for as long as you like, or they can take it to the new house, which was our case. Now this is everything that's left in the living room and the kitchen that we have to put into the U-Haul truck right now, and my husband is going to be working on the garage part.
I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. I found my way.
So I did attempt to help my poor husband trying to put everything into the truck, as well as my daughter, but we are located in the state of Georgia, and this is around lunchtime. I am not made for this weather. I come from a cold country, and I could not. My brain started to boil. I started doing silly things. You'll see me putting a lamp into a box and asking if that's how you move it, and then at some point I just gave up and went into the house to do things that I'm better at. Now, that topic came up once before in a different video when I was doing something outside and I couldn't take the heat, and I asked you in the comments if you liked or hated the heat, and I was surprised at how many people actually felt the same. I always thought that it was a little bit abnormal of me to not like the sun so much and prefer cool weather or fall or just stay indoors during the day. But a lot of you felt just like me, as well as the other half of you, of course, loved the sun more than anything.
Here's what you don't know. Feelings, they grow slow. I've just been caring for mine. Now I can feel it. Now I believe it. Baby, tonight is the night. I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you that I'm not giving up in the name of love.
Now the fridge is a mess. I'm going to throw away a lot from here, but mostly I'm going to worry about the freezer. And we are lucky to have a separate big freezer that we normally keep in our garage just for freezing the extra stuff. And I think that was the best thing that my husband ever invested in. And right now I'm just going to put everything we're keeping into that freezer, and then my husband is going to unplug it, I think, and then just take it to the new house and then plug it back in the new house as soon as he can.
Oh no, but I'll be damned if I'm not a fool. Here's what you don't know.
And everything that is left in the actual refrigerator, I'm going to put into this little portable box, I guess, and fill it up with ice to keep it cold, and the fridge is done.
I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you that I'm not giving up in the name of love. I'm not giving up yet on you. In the name of love, in the name of love. In the name of love.
I was extremely proud that we used my DIY dollies that I made in my garage organization video. I'm happy to say that we had to use them to move most of my plants. But we will be back in this garden a little bit later in this video to completely empty it and clean it up, of course.
But I'm not done. I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you that I'm not giving up in the
So the last things to pack in the house and especially in the kitchen were the most essential things, and I figured they would be the first things I would want to unpack as well. So those bunch of boxes in the middle of the living room are the last and first to open boxes. That's exactly what I wrote on them. So we're now pretty much there. My husband is really rushing to leave because he has a few friends at the new house that are going to be helping him to unpack, because we have to unpack everything to return the U-Haul truck tomorrow. And the only thing is that we're missing our cat. Now she goes outside normally in the morning, but then she is in and out most of the day and actually takes a nap inside the house during the day. So normally I see her quite a few times inside the house, except for today. Isn't that ironic? Now at this point I had to let my husband take the U-Haul truck to the new house, start unpacking, and I would be on my way with the kids as soon as the cat showed up. Now I had just very minimal stuff left with me, like the snacks and the drinks for the kids for the ride, and that's it. We had the vacuum left at the house because we were gonna come back the next day and clean, so I figured I might as well start and clean a little bit while I have plenty of time. Now just a couple of days prior to that, I bought my cat a GPS tracker, and I did not know that it was running out of battery already, and basically she had about 5% of battery left on her, but I had an idea of where she was. I just wasn't prepared to go there because it was about a mile away. I did not know what the location exactly was, and I wasn't ready to jump fences with my two kids on me. Later on, she was hanging out around the house somewhere, but she wouldn't come, and no matter how much I kept calling her, and also where she was located, I couldn't get there because it was really thick forest there and you had to kind of like really jump down. I can't describe it, but it was really dangerous even to go there by myself. Anyway, we had no things, no internet, nothing in the house except for those balloons that the kids are running around playing with, and neither could I go out of the house because in case she showed up, she would think that we left her with no things in the house. I don't know what she would think, but I didn't want to do that. As it got a little bit later, I gave them a bath with no towels on me, so it was much fun, but I was starting to worry about her because her battery ran out at this point. Plus, my cat has never ever done anything like that. So at this point I had to look for help, and my sister-in-law was kind enough to show up just to watch the window in case my cat showed up while I take the kids to the new house. As soon as I took the kids and came back to this house to again wait for my cat to show up, it was 11 o'clock at night, and the minute I walked in, the cat ran into the house through the window. I was so angry, but at the same time relieved. I just wanted to kiss her and take her to the new house. And as soon as I got to the new house, I just wanted to fall down, fall asleep, and that's exactly what I did. As soon as my husband put the bed together.
Away from the city lights.
Sure. This morning we had a really busy day ahead of us. Of course, we had to take the U-Haul back as well as drop off the kids somewhere to be watched for a couple of hours while we clean the old house. So we are going to head out to the old house in just a second. I just wanted to show you how full of boxes this house is and how much we will have to do in upcoming videos.
Let's drink up, it does look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that one, engage some. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we.
Here in this house, we're gonna have to start with the outside, clear this thing completely out. Also clean the garage, make sure that everything is nice and clean, there's nothing left behind. Vacuum whatever is not vacuumed, clean if there is anything dirty, and just make sure, like I said, the house is nice and clean, and say final goodbye to it. And I'll give you a little tour, of course.
The sun sets on fire. Tell me your desires. We're not getting tired. Baby, take me higher. I'm Sunday, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it more.
What I'm going to do here is to cut most of my vegetables off, like cucumbers and tomatoes. Even though they're nice and fresh, I didn't want to bring any possible diseases into the new land and the new garden, so I also wanted to start fresh. So what I'm going to take with me is the things that I cannot just regrow in a few months, like this peach tree to the left of me, as well as my raspberry and blueberry bushes, and that is it. And I'm going to throw away some of those old pots that was a DIY project gone wrong.
The summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. You love me right.
I couldn't believe someone left this bag of mine out on the other side of the fence. I think it was my parents-in-law, but they didn't mean to do that, or I don't know how that happened, but I wasn't going to leave that one behind. It's quite pricey. I never keep any kind of soils outside of the garage because I don't really think you're supposed to do that, because there's all sort of things that can get into the bag while you're not looking. And even though the bag was tightly closed when I got to it, I double checked that there was nothing going on as well, and so that I could take it to the new house with me.
Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night.
Too damn late.
These pots, a couple of pots, were a DIY project gone wrong. I used the wrong cement to try and make DIY pots myself, so this was just practice. After that, it went right, but this is just in case you're questioning. That's what it was.
The price for this guy is giving me what I like. When I slide on our beat while we high, but I fell off, let it right on my face. Yeah, can't hear the star killer bass. Yeah, it don't matter, I'm still amazing. I'm fancy. You don't like me more, so happy I can always speak. I know it can be frightening to let it go. A soft landing. Just got home, I've been hovering around the cool kid compounds. Started to look real promising. Yeah. 225.
So the outside is done. The plants we're going to take with us are gonna go in the back of the truck, and then I'm going to go to the kitchen to clean it for the very last time.
Every night, but I fell off, let it right on my face. Yeah, can't hear the star killer bass. Yeah, it don't matter, I'm still amazing. I'm fancy. You don't like me more, so happy I can always speak. I know it can be frightening.
We always had in mind that we were gonna sell this house at some point, so we tried taking good care of it and do some upgrades and updates as much as we could. My husband installed this granite in the kitchen. We installed completely new carpeting all over the house, and we installed brand new floors here downstairs, the ones that I'm standing on right now. My husband also painted the entire house as soon as he moved in to this house, but that was years ago, even before I was in the picture. But then just recently, a few months ago, I painted the entire laundry room. We installed new shelving there, and I painted this entire kitchen white. It used to be brown. He also installed granite countertops in both bedrooms upstairs, so just making upgrades and updates here and there all over the house and just taking good care of it and keeping it in good shape let us basically sell it at a good price, and we were happy in the end. Now I'm going to vacuum what used to be our bedroom.
Cannot believe that what we had is now gone, and I don't know how to be alone. Feels like my heart is cut in half. What I want is to get back where I belong. 'Cause we don't talk that much and we don't share a lot. Even though there's nothing in it after lately, maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there.
I'm throwing away our bathroom mats. We're just gonna start fresh and buy new ones, and nobody wants these old ones, I'm sure. And now that I'm done with upstairs, I'm gonna shut it down and go help my husband with the garage. We're gonna come back here and give it final walk in the end.
Picture me without you. I know it sounds a bit cliche, yeah, it does, but there's no other people like us. 'Cause we don't talk that much and we don't share a lot. Even though there's nothing in it after lately, maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there.
I can't believe we actually did what we had to do. With all the stuff left in the house in the last couple of days, we actually managed to put it into the truck and move it and do everything. Of course, my husband did most of the moving, the heavy lifting and everything, but I did my role as well, and I think we did a really good job. We did not hire any help. My husband's parents came for one day. They were in town though, so they just wanted to help, obviously, to move all the heavy furniture. Other than that, my husband basically did everything, and well, me and my husband, we both did everything, so pretty proud. But we do also have, as you can see, a bunch of trash that is all gonna go into the place where you leave your trash at, and it's not going to be picked up until I think a couple of days after this. But well, that was the only choice, and there's just gonna be a bunch of trash in the parking lot for now. But it is time to walk through the house one last time and just have a look at how clean it can actually be. The 3 years that we have spent in this townhouse, we really quite enjoyed, and it was really quite a turn in both of our lives. As soon as we got married 3 years ago, I walked into this house and we started living here, had 2 kids and a cat and a pretty amazing life. It is now time to move on towards an even more comfortable life, we are hoping, and we have been lucky. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I always love hearing from you, and I am closing this door, and I'll see you in the new house in the next video when we are going to be unpacking it.